Good morning and welcome back to the Adventures of Mac and Anthea. This isn't normally the sort of video I'd make, but every once in a while I come across a product that's particularly good or particularly bad, and I decide to share that product with you guys out there. Now, today's product's what they call an Eccentric pipe flare. It's for copper pipe. I've already had a little bit of a play with it here. You probably see it does a really good flare here, and a lot better than my previous pipe flares that I've used in the past. So I thought worthy of a quick video. Okay, so let's go over to the workbench and check out the tools I've been using up to now, and then this new and what I consider an improved tool. Okay, so what I've been using up to now are these. They basically separate a pipe, you put the pipe in, they clamp them. Then you slide this piece over. This has got the sort of the dome nut which you screw down into the pipe, and that causes it, makes the flare. Now, these are okay, don't get me wrong, but over time, you see they lock out on either side, and over time they sort of bow, and you're probably not going to see it here. No, I don't think it's going to pick it up. I'll try that one and I'll try the other one because this one's even worse. That one there. But over time what happens is these start to bow outwards with, tightening up the edges here and here, and then putting the pressure down the pipe there. These start to bend because of the metal's quite thin at these points here, and then it stops gripping the pipe, and when you start screwing this down into the pipe, instead of it flaring it pushes it back through and out of this machine. So not great. Another thing with this is the grooves in these to hold the actual pipe in the holes inside here, they're quite coarse and they can do quite bad damage to the actual pipe. I don't know if I've got an example here. Yeah, you can't really sit on that one, but that one it causes quite bad gouging in the actual copper pipe, and obviously that's going to reduce the strength of it. So I don't actually do a lot of copper pipe flaring. I do it occasionally really on my own stuff for brake pipes and also air conditioning, and that's what we're going to use this on today in a real life situation to see how well it works. Now I grabbed my tool as I normally did, start trying to do the pipe, and it was just pushing it back through, and I thought, yeah, it's time for a new one. You do this properly, because air conditioning sort of you release the gas into the pipes and then you're sort of done. You can pump it back into the compressor, but it's not ideal. So it's important to get all the unions really tight and really properly done before you release the gas from the compressor into the system. Okay, so I'll spin you around to this new machine. Now this comes in a box. This one is from Amazon. I normally order stuff from AliExpress when I've got time, but because I want to get the air conditioning fixed, because it sort of jumped it on me that it wasn't working and I needed to replace the units and it's getting hot here, so I thought, yeah, I want this here quick. I got this from Amazon. Exactly the same product you can get from AliExpress if you've got time. It's about a tenner cheaper, and it'll give you sort of one of these pipe cutters free as well. So I'll leave you a link to one of these to say identical make from AliExpress, and I'll also leave you a link if you're in a hurry and you can get one off Amazon. As you can see here, they're both made in China, so it doesn't really matter who you get off it, it's exactly the same product. Okay, so let me show you this product in a little bit more detail. This slides backs and forth but doesn't really come off. I understand some makes similar to this do, but this one you can slide it right to the end like that, squeeze it, and then you can slot your pipes in, and you let go and then slide it along, above here, and you've got a dome nut. You can't really see it in there, but it's a dome nut just like this one there inside. Now I've found the good thing about this one is it's got little marks along here and a screw to clamp it on the side. The good thing about that is, of course, instead of tightening at either end, it's tightening it in the centre in line with the hole that you're about to press. So it should hopefully stop that bowing out in the centre, which my previous hole flarers have suffered with. Now I found, had a little practice with it already, that the best thing to do is get your pipe in, protruding as far as you want it to be, as depending on how big you want your flare. Lining this up first, gently screwing this in until it's centred squarely on the end of the pipe, so it's not off to one side or the other, and then tightening this in. I found if you tighten this in to one of these little holes on the side, or where you think these little holes are to start with, you can actually end up flaring a bit off centre, and then you end up with a wonky flare. So like I say, move it along over the hole. It's a bit difficult to sort of look down inside it. Get it square on the pipe, gently turn it down until it's centred on the pipe and fill in the actual pipe end, and then lock this off, and then carry on with your tightening up. Okay, so let's give this a go in a real life situation with some air conditioning pipe. We're going to try the thicker stuff here and the thinner stuff. We'll try that on the workbench here, but of course we don't always have the luxury of doing the workbench, and we'll try it again when we're up at some height, actually in situ, you know, when we haven't got, you know, the luxury of having it on the workbench. Okay, so I'll film this as best as I can. You know, this is a long pipe, it's me twisting around, try not to knock the camera off the stand. I've already freshly cut this pipe. I mean, personally, I prefer to put a fresh cut on the end of the pipe before I do any flaring. So that's already been cut. I also haven't bothered to ream the pipe. I found actually you don't actually need to clean up the end of the pipe where there's sort of the cutter's crimped it in slightly. You still get a very decent flare on that without having to clean up the inside of this. Okay, so I'll do this as best I can and show you. Okay, so we'll slide this along to the end. We'll push on the end there and flare it out. We'll take our pipe, slot it into a hole. I'm going to cut the design. I'm going to do quite a deep flare on this one because the actual unions will take that. There you go. Push that on. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over the top of it, gently screw it down over it. Quick look inside. Yeah, that's centered square on there. So now I'm going to tighten this up here. There we go, and that's got that clamped tightly together. So then we're going to screw this in, screw this down. I don't screw it down too tight, you know, just until we start to feel real resistance. Too much pressure, you can thin the end of the union too much, reduce the thickness, and then you haven't got such a strong flare on the end of your pipe. So still going down, still flowing well. Quick look through the end. Yeah, it's looking good. Just give a couple more twists. Now it's starting to get tight, so I'll stop there, and that's how good a flare we've got. Back off this. Are we clear? Yeah, we clear the pipe. Undo this. Slide it back. Flare. And let's see if we can get this pipe out. And there we go. And as you can see, look at that. That's a perfect square on flare. You know, even all the way round. Still got good thickness all the way around here on the actual flare here, so no thin pipe or squash flat pipe, and there's no sort of ridge here where I cut the pipe in the first place. To my mind, that's perfect, and a little bit tight going for the threads, but that perfectly goes on the union there, so you've got the max amount of flare to go over the pipe. I'll quickly grab another the bit that they often connect to show you that, and then you'll see what I mean. Okay, so these are the straight pipe unions here. You can see these are slightly coned across here. I'm using these today. I'll explain more when we're up on the job up top. But as you can see, hopefully here, okay, I'll try and turn it. These are absolutely perfect on there. Fit absolutely perfect on the dome of that joint there. And then you just slide your nut along. Unit here, and we'll tighten that up, but that's got that well. You could not get a better joint than that. Okay, so that's the first one done. I'm going to do both ends of that, and I'm also going to do the narrow bore pipe. I won't bore you with that because it's basically the same process over and over again. But what I will do is I'll bring you in up top. I'll give you a very brief description of the installation and why I'm doing it, because obviously it's not really what the video is about, but it'll give you sort of a bit of background of why we're doing it and why we're using this tool up the top there. And we'll try this tool up at height where we've got limited space and see if it's still as effective. So that's those two pipes done, but before we get up to the installation point, I just want to show you something I noticed. Now this actually does come off this, off the end of there. I don't advise it if you can keep it on there because it's a bit of a pig to get back on. But what I have noticed, see if I can show you, is this cone is actually offset, and as you turn it, it sort of goes round round on this bearing and rolls out the edges of it. I suppose that's what eccentric means. Didn't notice that before. So it doesn't basically press down squarely. It sort of rolls out round the edge, inside edge of the pipe round, and presses it into the mould of the, you know, of this mould here. Quite an interesting setup. Okay, so let's get up top and get these pipes fitted. Okay, so here we are up top here near the outdoor unit of the split air conditioning. This installation isn't a straightforward installation. Whereas the outdoor unit is on this side wall here, the actual indoor unit is round on this front wall here, obviously on the inside. Now, on the face of it, it doesn't seem that hard, but the problem is then it means we've got a duct running along the inside of this wall, which goes about a metre and a half, and then exits it out into the upstairs bedroom here. Now, the problem with this is you have to first feed the pipes all the way through the pipe exit into the bedroom, make the connections on the air conditioning unit, and then feed it back down the ducting, which basically means that those indoor connections are halfway along the ducting where you can't get at them. So the problem is that when it comes to actually changing the unit, this is packed up and it's sort of got the old units past the point of repair really. We're just going to replace it with a new one. It means you've first got to disconnect the outdoor unit. You've got to straighten out all the pipes like this, feed them back through the wall here, pull the indoor unit out, make the disconnection, reconnect the new unit, and then push them back through, and I make these connections again. Not the end of the world, but the trouble is with these pipes, these copper pipes, whilst when they're new they're really flexible, after sitting in the sun for about 4 or 5 years, hot cold, even though they're in insulation, they become less flexible and more brittle, and then of course we try and bend them around, they often kink, which is what's happened here. So the plan is, what we're going to do is we're going to get those new pipes we've just prepared, connect them to this new unit. We'll do all our bends with the new pipes up to sort of to about here, cut these on the where we've got a straight and do those straight connections. So what I'm going to do is I'll connect those pipes up, I won't film that, and then we'll test this tool on the final straight connections along the straight point of the pipes. Okay, so we've got our pipe basically on there and roughly bent round. Obviously this is all going to have to go into conduit later. So now it's the outside pipe here, unfortunately. We're going to have to cut this pipe, put another one of these connections on, and see how well this actual tool is to work with when it's actually, you know, up in situ rather than having the luxury of working on a workbench. Okay, so this pipe is joined together, some are, some aren't, so we're just going to slice this down the length. Okay, and we're going to do this slightly long. We can always cut it shorter, but we don't want to be adding to it. Okay, so off up to where she wants to be, more or less. Unfortunately, these pipes are twisted, they're going to have to go the way round. Let's get down a bit. Yeah, I think we'll just take a little bit more off this. Bit up again. That's about there. So it's probably going to want to be from about there. So let's cut that. Pipe cutter on here again, this is my own, but if you buy it off AliExpress they normally include that with the kit. Amazon they don't. Away slightly. There we go, we'll just toss that below for now. Okay, put the union on, won't be the first time I forgot to do that. So push that up a bit, and then that's trial machine. So we're going to have to go, it's going to be a bit difficult because we're going to go in from the reverse side. There. Separate, get our right amount of tube we want sticking out the bottom there. Gently square off our tip of our expander into the mouth of the pipe. It's fighting me a bit. Okay, we're happy with that, so we'll tighten off the side clamp. Nice and tight. So we've got the pipe clamped, and now we're going to gently roll out the edge of this and expand this pipe to flare it out. Turning it. Now it's starting to feel quite stiff pressure, so I'll stop and we'll wind it back out. All the way back out, release the side clamp. Slide it out, reflare it. And we're out. Okay, let's have a quick look at that, and I hope you can see that. You can actually see that that is a perfect flare again. So yes, a little more difficult, obviously, as you'd expect, you know, not being able to do it on the workbench, but not a lot more difficult. Certainly well usable actually when you're up in situ, you're trying to fit these unions. So we'll just connect this one together, see how it goes on. Looks perfect on there. Perfectly flared. Straight connection. Put that one on again, and we're connected. So we'll jiggle around pipes, make sure we're happy with them again. When we're finally happy, and we've also done this other pipe, we'll tweak these all up, all the unions, and then we'll obviously go through the vacuum process, vacuum the air out of the whole system before we finally release the gas in. Okay, so I think we'll wrap that video up there. It's really sort of a product video rather than a sort of air conditioning installation video, so we'll wrap that up there. This is an excellent bit of kit, you know. I do get commission from AliExpress, but not from Amazon, but that's not the reason I'm making the video. It's a good bit of kit, it does a really good job, and it's worthy of a mention. So I think all that remains is thanks for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.